The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out.
Hello everybody, this is Steven Dutzman. I am the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and this is a parent's perspective from Madden 2018. This is played on the Xbox One thanks to the EA Access program. It's letting us play the game about 5 days early, and here we go. This is an exhibition match between myself and John. You may remember him as the gentleman who participated in our E3 coverage. Specifically, he beat the crap out of me in a bunch of fighting games. But that's not going to be repeated. Specifically, I am playing the New England Patriots, he's playing the New York Football Giants, and we're having a little bit of an exhibition match. We're highlighting specifically the second quarter of our game. You'll have a pretty good idea who won when we get to halftime. So this is, so we just thought we would show one quarter of the game. We did 6-minute quarters, because being that it's a video game, doesn't necessarily need to follow everything exactly. This is done using the arcade mode, which is a relatively new thing to the Madden franchise. Basically what it does, it tones everything down from a simulation perspective. You know, when you think about Madden and, you know, NBA Live, 2K, some of these other games, they're simulations in general. They are designed specifically to be as accurate as possible. The arcade mode in Madden kind of limits a lot of that. What it does is it creates a, you know, I don't want to make it sound like NFL Blitz from back in the day, but it makes it a lot easier to play. It's more forgiving. You can get higher scores. It makes the game a little bit more exciting. Also, it makes it a little bit more accessible for, I think, younger players, players that are a little bit less skilled. This is, that's why we used it. We wanted to get an idea what that mode would be. You can see here, choosing plays. My opponent, John, was regularly trying to flip through the playbook and find plays that he thought were right for the situation. Specifically, he was really trying to find a running game. I, in most cases, just did exactly what the game recommended. Again, we did that on purpose. We just wanted to see what would happen. And so here we are. It's, you know, you can see obviously from a visual perspective, this game is super impressive. One thing that you may notice, if you're, you know, paying attention, is, you know, it definitely looks like they are trying to mimic the television visuals, right? It looks, with the exception of obviously, you know, some of the play selection and the button prompts. This is, for, in a lot of cases, pretty much what a television broadcast would look like on Sunday afternoon or Monday night. So, and they work really hard on that. Wow, I'm a little embarrassed I let that run out of there. And when I'm not speaking, you'll be able to hear the commentators that really, they try and kind of match some of the context of the situation.
Definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space.
These guys spent a lot of time in a recording booth to try and make things as, make it as likely as possible that they would go a whole game without repeating themselves. They want to go multiple games without repeating themselves as much as possible, because that's been a complaint that's happened in a lot of other games. And here we go. Pick 6. I may or may not have selected the second quarter because I thought that was pretty impressive. But you'll see in a second why specifically I wanted to choose it, because we explore some of the functions in the game. Now, in the arcade mode, they limit a lot of the penalties, rather. So, John was absolutely convinced that the only reason that interception happened was because of a what would have been pass interference if it was done in the actual NFL. So we actually used the instant replay option to actually kind of, and you see here we're doing it right now, they we actually kind of zoomed in and we took a look at it. So take a look and see. Let us know what you think. So as you can see, we were using some of the tools to rotate everything around and zoom in a little bit so we can see in the NFL, a defender cannot push the receiver out of the way. They have to kind of make a play on the ball. So being that this is a video game, Devin McCourty, number 24, there really isn't a lot of friction between the two of them, so he really is able to just kind of sneak right in there, get a little physical, and grab it. So I think that John was probably right. That probably would have been called because in real life they wouldn't have gone as neatly through each other, which was pretty interesting there. So this is the kicking. Extra points are pretty straightforward. Again, I mean, they really try and recreate things. The players celebrate on the sidelines, which is absolutely what things look like. Now, right here, you may notice that that's not Bill Belichick on the sidelines. One interesting piece of trivia is that Bill Belichick will not allow Electronic Arts to put his likeness in the game. And, you know, he has his reasons, and they are detailed elsewhere. Not super important when dealing with the actual, you know, trivia, just pointing out. So while we were recording this, we had a whole bunch of people here just kind of watching the recording, you know, etc. And one of the questions came up when I pointed this out was that, you know, why don't they just make like a generic, you know, short, stout guy with a scowl and just make it not be him? Because the more like him they make the guy look, the more likely he is to bring a lawsuit against them, and they don't want to do that. So they pick someone that looks absolutely nothing like him. You'll even notice if you listen to the commentators, they actually won't refer to him by name, whereas with many of the other coaches they will.
Now Manning to try again after the pick six. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
Now this trio that New York has compiled, Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard, and of course Odell Beckham Jr., fits right into head coach Ben McAdoo's attack. They led the league in 3 wide receiver sets in 2016.
So, you know, this is just a little bit more of it. We're obviously nearing the 2-minute warning, which is obviously in the NFL. Obviously, that, you know, means hurry up. It means, you know, it kind of changes the cadence of the game. It does that in Madden as well, if you so choose. You know, again, they play by the same rules for the most part. So this has been our Parents' Perspective video for Madden 2018. As you can see, this is a pretty straightforward game. If you let your kids watch football on Sunday afternoon or Monday night, then you really shouldn't have a problem letting them play Madden, because again, this is it's the same thing pretty much, or at the very least EA is trying very hard to make it happen. Now obviously online play will be different. If you're playing online against an opponent, then there are some added pieces of exposure that you have to deal with, but so be it. That is a problem that all online games have. The good news is you don't necessarily have to freak out about that, because you can just not have them play online. You know, siblings can play you know, you can play with your kids. This is, and also there's a robust single-player mode where you can play and create a dynasty and take your favorite team and kind of manage them over the course of multiple seasons, which is super interesting. So I will sign off, let you enjoy the rest of this quarter. You'll get a pretty good idea what the rest of the game will look like from there. Until next time, this is Steven Dutzman signing off. Make sure you like the video, comment if you have questions or comments, subscribe to our channel so you can get further videos, and also head on over to EngageFamilyGaming.com and see what other content we have. We'd love to have you there. Until next time, hope you have a great day, and don't forget to get your family game on. Bye now.
Picks it off. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Gostkowski for the point after. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last time, decent field position through the pick six, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
The drive starts with a run by Perkins. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And now out come the Patriots. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Brady throwing on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
A dump off to the flat for Perkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. One final try now for Manning. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot on first down.